What's up, NBA fans? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, hosted the Behind the Bench podcast network channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shy, Kelvin, Jermaine, KB Film Room, and Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right, that's right. For everyone who's tuning in, we thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel, help make this show the best that it can be. And I have to get right to it in order to get right to it. Let's go back to 2011. And when the Dallas Mavericks, quote unquote, upset the Miami Heat in the finals. Dallas Mavericks were the underdogs going into that series, going up against the league's first self-engineered super team. Really, the original super team of the NBA. No matter what these talking heads say, man, they are the first super team because they featured 3 prime franchise level players, 2 top 5 players, and the top 10 talent that joined forces. You can't say that about the 60s Celtics. You can't say that about the 70s Knicks. You can't say that about the Showtime Lakers. You can't say that about the Larry Bird Celtics. You can't say that about the Bad Boy Pistons. You can't say that about the Chicago Bulls. You can't say that about the 90s Houston Rockets. You cannot say that about Kobe and Shaq Lakers. You cannot say that about the San Antonio Spurs. You cannot say that about the Golden State Warriors. You can't even say that about the Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2010s or now. The Miami Heat, the first team ever to put 3 such players together on the same team. And over these past 7 years, let's go back to the finals. Dallas beats Miami. They was trying to roll the red carpet out for the Hurricane to win because they were so desperate to see him win, man. It was frightening. They said, you know what? If we got to facilitate this super team for him to win, so be it. It didn't even matter. Throw all costs to the win. And they unleashed an era of chaos and toxicity. It's as simple as that. So Dallas beats them. They talk about Dallas for about 36 hours because the finals ended that Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken. And then by the time they landed back in Dallas, stepping down from the team plane holding the Larry O'Brien trophy, as soon as they stepped down from that plane, they started talking about the Miami Heat. In particular, they started talking about the Hurricane all off season. When the Spurs beat Miami in 2014 finals in 5 games, and probably the worst defeat in finals history in terms of average point of margin. They talked about the Spurs for 2 days. And when San Antonio celebrated their title on the Rio Grande River down in San Antonio, boom, it was all about, well, what is the Hurricane going to do? Is he going to stay in Miami or is he going to return back home? Then, of course, Golden State, anytime Golden State beat them, you know, they gave a little more publicity to Golden State because of Steph Curry, who was a back-to-back league MVP. So they couldn't just shun him, per se. But they did to the Lakers, coming off back-to-back championship in 2010. And the day of the decision, the pyrotechnics show, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. They talked about the Lakers like they was an afterthought, like they was a junior varsity squad, and they was the back-to-back defending NBA champions. Didn't matter. Same thing with the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. First time the Milwaukee Bucks won a championship in 50 years since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then Lou Alcindor. They talked about Giannis for maybe 2 days, and on the 3rd day, they was trying to convince you that he had a super team, and that's the only reason he won. Then it was right back to the same old money grab, the same old high ho. And then Denver, same thing. They talked about Denver maybe for 3 days tops, and then it was right back to the same old bit, man. Even with Boston Celtics. You know, one of the 2-story franchises of the NBA, historic franchise of the NBA, they talked about them for maybe 3 days, you know what I'm saying? And then it was right back to what they need to do for the Hurricane. And they doing it again this year after Oklahoma City hoisted the trophy as the newly crowned NBA champions. So Right now, as we speak, Rob Pelinka got to do it again, man. He got to do it again, man. He talking about, and they literally telling you, these are journalists now. These are flat out, they supposed to be journalists, right? And they sitting here pushing for drafted talent to be traded. They say, oh, Lakers got some assets they can use, trade Dalton Connect. How do you think that feels, man, when you a rookie? And I know his fans ain't gonna say nothing. They support this nonsense because they want to see their so let's just say their I'm really trying to be kind here. Let's just say their idol. They want to see him win by any means necessary, even though that he was the quote unquote supposed to be the driving force behind these past two teams that made in-season moves, before the season moves, free agent moves over these past 2 years that would make your head spin at the rate of the player turnover. So much so, the talking head said it was you can book him for the finals, and they got dusted in the first round 2 years straight. And it's the same cycle all over again. I'm telling you, man, it's depressing. I'm telling you, as a fan of this long story franchise, it's depressing. It's depressing. Because they're going to trash Rob Pelinka. They're going to say he ain't doing nothing. And then he gets tired of the criticism. Then he makes a move. They show love for about maybe, the time span gets shorter and shorter because this guy's career is supposed to be getting close to the end, And then it be the same old, they're sticking their chest out, the Jordan comparisons. That's around right before the football season start. And then, training camp hits, and they start talking about the possibilities, how they can dominate, how they should, would be the matchup, would be the best rotations. Then the season starting about a month, they start seeing the snags. They hit a lull, and then around the holiday season, before Christmas hit, they start talking about moves they need to make in trades. I'm telling you, man, and I'm telling you, it's a hustle. It's an all-time hustle for the ages in the history of pro sport. There's all this business a hustle, because a lot of excellent young players have been subjected to being reduced to essentially pawns in the game. You can only play Monopoly so long before you go bankrupt. You can only play Monopoly so long before you can only mortgage yourself out so long before you go bankrupt. They're not concerned about it, man. They're not concerned about it. So what I'm gonna do, as a lifelong fan, I'm just gonna let it ride, man. Because at this point, there's nothing that a fan can do individually, other than to voice their frustration. But this has been depressing, because Oklahoma City is showing us that they can rock and roll and win a title and build from the ground up with only one superstar, only one, who built this game up. He was not a ready-made superstar. He built this game up over the past 6 years, won league MVP, led his team to the championship in a small market. Everything they said that couldn't be done in terms of building up a team and building a champion, Oklahoma City proved it. So did Denver. So did Milwaukee. It's for a small market team. And someone's going to get traded. And draft pick will probably be utilized to facilitate the trade. And then when it falters, it's going to be the same old song. The Lakers can give up. They got their 23 pick. Telling you, man, it's depressing, man. It's depressing. Hello. And it's all to push an agenda that's crippling this franchise, crippling the psyche of the franchise, so much so that the owner had to sell the team. She essentially waved the flag and said she couldn't take it no more. Let's be honest. Let's be real. But what's unfortunate about it is fans who are led to buy into this. Everybody's putting pressure on this front office to deliver, not for the team, but they cannot see how they're being pushed for the team to give up of itself to see him win, to put him in position to win. That's what this all been about since they brought him to the team. But they'll flip it and say that he's lifted the franchise up, but all I see is them mortgaging themselves out to stack them stack the deck with ready-made players to help this dude win. That's what this being. That's why I say it's a hustle for the ages. It's the hustler. That's what this is, man. And it's brutal. And it's unfortunate because we could have had something special. I got to watch other teams out here prove to the world that you can do it by the book. You ain't got to sacrifice. You ain't got to sacrifice during there. Shit. If you trade Connect, we talking about shit. They start siphoning players out in 2017, or 2017-2018 season. So we talking about 9 years of sacrificing your own talent. So you may well say 10 years. That's how terrible this is, man. And they losing, and in the process they losing more than they winning, man. And it's just a sad state of affairs, man. And I just figure at this point, man, there's no use of sugarcoating it. Think about this, man. You got Luka Doncic in your lap. However, the means in which he was traded to the Lakers. And then they said that the Lakers were going to the finals. That's what the talking head said. The Hurricane said himself, well, I don't believe that you can't win a title in the same year that you make a blockbuster trade mid-season. But the fundamental flaw is the man is getting older. The fundamental flaw is his style of play, his system neutralizes 3 positions on the court, right? And over the past couple years, they tried to win by featuring a roster that was devoid of a legitimate starting center, right? So to get Luka, you had to trade your best interior defender who you mortgaged the future to get 6 years ago. And he's gone. And all you got out of it was a bubble chip. That's it. That's the reality. They can talk about injuries and all this stuff. At the end of the day, other teams are dealing with injuries. Oklahoma City was missing Chet Holmgren for like 3 months to 4 months. And they still won 68 games. So that means if he'd have been healthy the majority of the season, they would have won 70 games. You figure they would have won 70 games. So my point is this, fellas. I'm sorry for anyone's tuning in. It could be a lady fan or of basketball, as well as a male fan of basketball. It's right back to the same old song. They should be doing commentary on Oklahoma City Thunder. Do a feature like how did they build themselves up? But they don't want to do that because it's going to show the Laker organization that the blueprint that they once originated, Oklahoma City applied, and show that you don't have to mortgage the whole thing off to win the championship. That's why they don't want to talk about OKC. That's why they don't want to talk about it. Because it's going to show the Lakers what they could have did if they would have stayed close with their young talent. That's right. Oh, man, I can see it, man. It's as clear as day. You can read it. You can read them like a book, man. It's the same old nonsense, dog. And then this dude, he'll put out a statement saying, I want to monitor and see what the team do. It's the same old hustle. It's nothing but a hustle. He didn't come here in year one and elevate the team. He didn't elevate the team. They was making changes in his first year. Remember? They brought in Lance Stevenson. They brought in Rondo, which cut into Lonzo Ball's, not just his playing time, but his role on the team. Turned him into a spot-up shooter. Right? Then he limited Brandon Ingram's growth and development, whereas if Brandon Ingram was allowed to develop the way he was supposed to, he'd have been averaging about 22 a game in his third year. Their fans would have been saying, oh, man, Brandon Ingram, man, we got a future superstar. But instead, he was used as trade bait for a guy who's no longer on the team. Then they brought in, like, Michael Beasley, players like that took playing time away from Josh Hart in his second year. And then you bring in Tyson Chandler, who was past his prime, took minutes away from Ivica Zubac's development. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at this, man. I just think at the end of the day, it's been more trouble than it's worth. And I think because of the fact that the bar's been lowered. And like I said, you ain't, even when you got the standard, you're not gonna win every year. Showtime didn't win every year during the 80s. Two times they did not make the finals. They got upset. So you don't win every year, no matter how great you are in the grand scheme of things. But the way this man has it, the whole thing orchestrated and manipulated, is that fans are now being conditioned to accept all of the losing in the hopes that there'll be a breakthrough that will result in a future championship. That's not how teams roll historically. You can look at any great team that had a long-standing run. That's not how they roll. It's not. You don't go from, like, the Lakers three-peated in 2002, right? And we lost in 2003 in the conference semifinals to San Antonio, who went on to win a championship. But you can look at it, you can say, you know what? The Lakers had a hell of a run, people. 3 straight championships. You really can't ask no more than that. For a team to win 3 straight, I mean, at that point, I mean, look, you just have to just really show a deep sense of appreciation for a team that does that. But at the end of the day, all the losing and then one so-called shining moment that resulted in a bubble chip that was designed and constructed like an actual NCAA tournament. They had a seeding round before the playoffs started. Unfreaking believable. But I'm gonna shut this bad boy down. Rob Pelinka got to do it once again, and whatever moves he make, that's if he's able to make any. They'll celebrate it for a moment, and then later on in the season they're gonna criticize it. They criticized Luka. They blamed it all on Luka. The reason why they lost in the first round, because they're gonna give that dude a pass, man. And I just think, man, I've never seen nothing like this in my life, and I just really, it behooves me, man, that the Lakers are associated with this situation when they had something in the palm of their hand that could have manifested in something beautiful and worthy and long-standing, incredible, feasible, profitable, historic. And they gave it all away for a dude, and I'm gonna close this out. He walked through the door losing 2 straight finals. A gentleman's sweep and a full-fledged sweep on his home floor, and lost by 20-some points. And his fans will say, oh man, had to go against Golden State, but Golden State, they won 58 games that year. It wasn't like they was a world beater. And their depth took a hit. And they were down 3-2 to Houston. And many people say if Chris Paul, when they got hurt, they'd have beat Golden State in their Western Conference Finals. The man was on the super team Miami his first year in 2011 and lost in the finals. So no matter how you slice it, he lost his first 2 finals in championship play. You're gonna have more odds of losing with him leading the way than wins. And that mentality, no franchise should have to be doing this every year. I can see a tweak. I can see you drafting someone. Like I said, Oklahoma City won the championship, and they drafted a player. Teams have done that historically. Won the title, draft someone. Just to, try to, keep the team moving forward. Maintaining the level of performance. But this right here, how can you realistically win when you get this coming up? Yeah, the NBA draft just took place last week for 2025. Just last year, a year ago, fans and talking heads were celebrating and giving the Lakers props for drafting Dalton Knecht, who's supposed to be the steal of the draft, right? And a year later, they on these sports shows talking about trade him. It's insane. And that's why I say the reason why Julius Randle was let go, the reason why Brandon Ingram was traded. Lonzo Ball was traded. Josh Hart was traded. Not Jermaine, but Thomas Bryant was traded. Zubats was traded. Mo Wagner was traded. Jordan Clarkson was traded. Larry Nance Jr. was traded. The reason why they was let go, it had nothing to do with them. It had nothing to do with them. And what's crazy is Jordan Clarkson won the Sixth Man of the Year award in 2021 while playing with Utah. I remember cats telling me, "Oh man, Jordan Clarkson ain't no good. He trash." No, boss. He was traded to a team whose superstar left him for the second time in his career with no assets to build. As soon as he got traded from Cleveland to Utah, boom, Sixth Man of the Year. I'm talking about his first full year with Utah, boom, he won Sixth Man of the Year. And the Lakers have not had a better six-man player since. The only original Laker to win Sixth Man of the Year. But he had to achieve that on somebody else's team. So this has just been awful. It's been awful. I figured, man, I just be honest about it right now, man. You know, it's a lot of dubious moments that have happened while this basketball player was brought to this franchise. A lot of losing, considering the fact they're supposed to be in win now mode. You see, now if you was building naturally, and you know, let's say your best players are like in their early 20s, they go to the playoffs for the first time and lose in the first round, you can say, okay, all right, we're gonna come back next year. You know, they're gonna be driven to get better, and we're gonna take it to the next level. No, you're in win now mode. You got superstars on your team. The GM keep on willing and dealing for you, mortgaging the franchise off, and the best that you can deliver is first round exits, 2 years straight. Think about it. This man, since he's been in uniform, they've been eliminated in the first round 3 times since the bubble. 3 times since the bubble, they've been eliminated from the first round. But they're gonna sit here and tell me that the young core wasn't no good and they could achieve anything. I guarantee that young core would have been kicking out better performances than what we've been seeing these past 4 years. That's a guarantee. Well, 5 years. See, they want to talk about the down years of the 2010s. This is more of a down period because they supposed to be winning and they losing. And someone's gonna get traded off. Probably Austin Reeves or Dalton Connect. And the Lakers won't have no drafted players on this team. None. Never seen nothing like it in my life. But I just want to drop that nugget real quick. Please leave your comments and thoughts. And like I said, man, this is not a Laker channel. It's not about this. It's just about, it's so frustrating to see the same script being written every year. It's the same cycle. It's the same type of conversation, man. And they hell bent on trying to position this dude to be the greatest ever. This man been in the league over 20 years. And the guy they trying to push him past, think about it, Michael Jordan, because they didn't already diss Kobe Bryant. You know, Kobe Bryant is a more technical player, more, when I say skill, because I think that word skill is overplayed, a more mature basketball player. He's a more mature basketball player. He has more nuance to his game. Plus, he was a better defender, and he was clutch. Michael Jordan essentially played 11 full seasons with the Chicago Bulls and won 6 championships. So that means out of those 11 seasons, he's winning the championship over 50% of the time. And he won so in dominant fashion, he beat all contemporaries, rivals, and newcomers and all-time greats, Mount Rushmores. He beat them to such a degree where he felt at the age of 30 that he beat all challenges. He felt he didn't have no challenge and retired and would go play another sport at the age of 30. Then came back. He had to get in basketball shape. Came back, and then he racked off another 3 straight, and he rolled off into the sunset. Give me that guy any day of the week. And he didn't bring no drama, you know. He uplifted his teammates, contrary to what they say about him, you know. In real time, Scottie Pippen always said, even in his Hall of Fame speech, Scottie Pippen said, "MJ, you've inspired me, you inspired millions." And I think I remember Michael Jordan's retirement ceremony. that was like put organized for him a year after he had retired. And I remember Ahmad Rashad was the host. Spike Lee was in attendance. And there was a segment where his teammates, walked on the stage and sat beside Jordan, along with Phil Jackson and then Scottie Pippen. I take that back. Sorry about that, people. This was like right after he retired in '93, and then Scottie Pippen made a comment. Scottie Pippen say, I would like to thank MJ for being our leader and for showing me how to become a better basketball player. That's what Scottie Pippen said in real time, dog. See, this nasty work was going on now. And unfortunately, my squad is at the center of this matrix. And it don't feel good. It don't feel good. But I just want to drop that gold nugget. Please leave your comments and thoughts. And I guess one of these days I'll get my team back. And there's a lot of Laker fans out there, particularly members of the crew, that never wanted no part of this. The LBJ experience, man. It can leave you. Even the people who support him, man, they have to go through all these measures to come up with excuses and explanations and point of rationales to explain why his career turned out the way it did. You would think they'd be tired of it, man, but they keep on marching on. They keep on trying to march on, man. And it's gonna be more L's coming, dog. It's gonna be more L's coming. They're gonna bring up Gasol. They're gonna bring up Pippen. This dude had AD, who was coming off a 28-12 season, top 3 in P. AD was the only player in the top 3 of league MVP and Defensive Player of the Year when he was traded to the Lakers. Kevin Love was, I think, top 3 in PER, best offensive rebound in the game, best outlet pass in the game, best rebound in the game in this position, reduced to a shell, And now Luka Doncic, who was the former league scoring champion, second all time in points per game in the postseason. Only 2 players that averaged 30 points a game in the postseason, him and Michael Jordan. And you had him on your team, you lost in the first round. It's as simple as that, man. Man, oh man, got to go through this again. Going into year 8, same talk, same talking points, trades, who need to be traded, who they need to sign, who they need to bring up in here, la 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 la. It's a broken record, people, at this point. It's played out. But until next time, JB, BTB. Yeah,